Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching today. Today is day 5, the last day of emotional habits, the 7 things resilient people do. So today's topic, the last 2 habits, habit 6 and 7. Habit 6 is developing positive self-talk and inner movies, which I love. I could go on for hours about this. I love this part of the book. And last is controlling the ABC loop. So hopefully you got the book or downloaded it or audio booked it. Great things, because especially, I mean, I always had a sense that, of course, emotions are a very important thing, and that contributes to success or failure. And when reading this book, wow, it really puts it into perspectives of some of the things that we do. And I basically knew, found out right away the things that I was doing. Emotion, wow, does it really control things? So in this topic today, like developing positive self-talk, inner movies, I didn't realize that I was doing this, and maybe you do it too, and I think a lot of us do, is that in our heads, I mean, this is my take on this, and I'm going to go over some of the things the author talked about, but it's when you feel a certain, you're happy, you're sad, you're angry. If you're angry at something, you ever just get in a mood and you don't even know why you're in that mood, but your brain will start finding things and replaying a movie. That's how I take it. Do you get that? Whenever someone angers you, do you start having that sense like in your head? Then you start picking up things that, unresolved things, or maybe not really unresolved, but things that just got you angry in the past. There's things that right now that you're not controlling, and you just shouldn't be thinking about them, but just get you angry. So this part of the book, controlling or have positive self-talk inner movies, is really not suppressing them. I'm big with that, suppressing things sometimes and just kind of pushing them to the side, think about them later. But when you get those feelings, bring them out like a movie and start trying to control the volume, control the color, control the perspective. Like, when you're thinking about these feelings, are you involved in them? Are you right there? Are you like a third party looking over them? Are you really deep involved with them? So the author did a great job of just trying to get you to think about those feelings when those feelings come up, and really trying to control how you're handling them, how you interpret them, looking at it at a different angle, trying to, if they were intense memories or intense feelings, trying to mute them, so to say. Again, he was using the example of movies and a remote control, and not suppressing them, not bringing them, not continually looping them and keep on reliving and reliving and reliving, but address them, address those feelings, address those thoughts, try to figure out different ways to mute them, or if they're negative, mute them, change the color of them, look at a different perspective, look at the positive side of things, because there's a reason why these emotions keep on coming up. And you'll see in the last habit that some things that you can do to really understand and control some of those feelings. Not really control, but you could interpret them differently. That's how I take of it, and taking a positive side to things. Every negative thing that happens to you could potentially be always a great positive things, but you got to do something that if something keeps on coming up in your memory, and a certain emotion just keeps on coming up in certain circumstances that has a negative outcome, you've got to figure out, use those inner talks, use those kind of like a narrative in your head. Like, again, the author does a great job of explaining. Look at it as a movie. Look at the volume. Look at the color. Look at that perspective. Look at the intensity. Look at the music. What are you hearing in those thoughts and feelings, and try to put them into a positive thing. And then that goes into the ABC loops. What he refers to in the ABC loops, A is a stimulus, B is a behavior, and C is a consequence. Everything we do every day is one of those three things. A stimulus, it triggers a behavior, which triggers a consequence. I think when, I know me, maybe this is you too, when I hear the word consequence, I think of that as a negative thing. That's really not a negative thing. It's what it results from your behavior. Maybe I took that thought and thought maybe that's because that's how I grew up. When you grow up, or I grew up, it's like, you better not do this or you're going to have consequences. You better not do that or you're going to have consequences. It was never a positive thing, or it didn't seem that way. And maybe that it's the same for you. But everything that you do, and you want to figure out how to control these things. Like the author brings up in the book, back when he was a child, he had anger problems. And every time that someone would anger him, like when he was a kid, he would get into a fight. And then the fight had some consequences, and those were negative consequences. That's an easy thing. That's a very easy, well, for me, maybe for you too, it's an easy thing to see because it's right there. Something happens, there's a fight, there's a consequence, you're in trouble, or a negative effect. That's out in the open. People could see that, but you don't realize, and I'm going to turn my take on this and a little bit of a business in there. You don't realize the things that you're doing because other people might not see it. What I mean by that is that every day, if you want to enhance your business, you want to increase your sales, you want to be successful, other people might not see those ABCs in you every day. They don't know. There's no one watching you at the end of the day going, hey, I noticed that you did not do all of your prospecting calls for today, or you didn't set any appointments up for today, or how many listings did you get this week? You don't have that person, or some of us do, but most agents do not. So you have to figure out the ABCs for you. So what you're going to do, what kind of stimulus are you going to create yourself to have the behavior and the consequence be a positive consequence, an appointment, a buyer, a seller, a sale, getting to your goals. And what the author brought up in the book too is a lot of successful people work in reverse a little bit. He brought up an example, Muhammad Ali. Of course, very successful boxer. Hopefully you know that name. But he was always seen as always picturing the consequence, or always picturing himself as successful and winning a fight before he even got in the ring. So that kind of emotions, he had that emotions of being a winner. If you've seen films, if you know him, seen him, past films of him boxing, that was one of the most, in my opinion, one of the most confident, if he was 100% sincere about what he was saying and doing when he got in a ring or when he was interviewed, the most confident person that in the sporting industries that I've ever seen, that says, I'm going to win. I'm a winner. I'm going to get in that ring. I'm going to win. He already saw the outcome. He already saw the consequence of his behavior and the stimulus before he got in there. So for a lot of successful people, they think that way. So, and then I always thought about this in the reverse side of things, or on the opposite end of negative things. I use this as an example in my head, and I use this when I talk to people, is that, and agents, is that like a negative thing. Like a lot of us if we love to speed. I'm a slow driver now. I don't know why. I just, everybody who drives with me, like, why are you going so slow? I'm not even paying attention. But some people would love to speed and go 90 miles an hour on the freeway. They don't, because they know the consequences of their behavior equals a ticket, equals money, equals points on their license, equal higher insurance. That's like a negative thing. So people are, you might be thinking of consequences every day in what you do. Like, I can't get up late because then if I get up late, this is what's going to happen to me, and I'll miss work, or miss getting my children to the school, or miss an appointment or thing. So you think of the consequences sometimes before you do things, and a lot of the negative things. So the point I'm getting is, start trying to think the ABCs. Try to think of the positive things, the consequences first, then your behavior, then the stimulus of what you have to do to get that behavior started. So think of the positive things at the end of the day. My opinion for every agent out there that's trying to grow their business, again, you're not gonna wake up today and have a sale out of the blue. You're not gonna go from zero to don't have a new buyer today, to find a buyer today, find them a house, get a sale, get a commission check, all in the same day. You're not going to have that. So think differently. Think today, the consequence today, I'm going to go to sleep knowing I did everything I possibly could today to increase my business. I added people to my database. I put more people on my social network. I reached out to more people. I joined a networking group. I passed out 10 of my business cards. I reached out to past clients. What did you do today to increase your possibility of finding new business, increasing your database, increase your prospecting? Think of those, how that consequence, how you're going to feel when that happens. And when that happens, and then you could think of what behavior are you going to take to do that? What are you going to do? Am I going to pick up the phone? I'm going to send texts, emails. I'm going to go on Facebook. Am I going to friend people? I'm going to send instant messages. What behavior am I going to do? And then what stimulus do I have to give myself to get to that behavior? What stimulus? Am I going to put it into my calendar? Am I going to put a note on my bathroom mirror so when I wake up in the morning, I know what I have to do? What's the stimulus to remind myself that I'm going to do start this behavior, and then this behavior starts working into what the consequence is? So think day to day. Think, because those things, and I've said this before, will stack on top of each other. Those days, that's a win. If you could go to bed each night going, I did everything I can, not work, I worked 12 hours today, because I have agents that work 12 hours a day plus, and they're working on their transactions, they're working on buyers, putting out fires, going to inspections, running a buyer around. But that's all good things that you have to get done. But if you don't spend time each day trying to increase your business, you're going to have those ups and downs. You're going to have those roller coasters. So back to prospecting, back to things that are going to increase your business all of the time. Think of that. I mean, just that's one thing that you can do each day to get to your goals, because there's many things you have to do. ABCs of things in your personal life, in your relationships, in your if you have another job, or other life things that you're responsible for, taking care of other people. Everybody has I don't think there's anybody that I know that has just real estate and has no other responsibility in their world, or doesn't have anything else to do with their life, or doesn't care about anything else, like having relationships and personal time and family time and spending time with people. So everybody has other things, but put your business in the forefront, in the movie part of the day. Like in my head, I go, okay, movie time. And when you watch a movie, what do? You go out and you tell everybody, walk around the house, okay, I'm watching a movie, don't interrupt me. Movies on. Remember back in the day before remote controls, you played the movie, no one wanted to get off the couch. That movie kept on playing, everybody's quiet. Seems like now that we have remotes, we can easily shut off a movie. A 2-hour movie turns into a 4-hour movie. What I mean by that is, try to get in your head, this is how I twisted this into my own little thing, and I have my hands. Now it's movie time. It's time for me to create what I'm going to do for the day. I'm going to control. I have the remote control in my hand. I'm in control of what my stimulus will be for the next 2 hours. I will control the behavior that I'm going to have for the next 2 hours. I'm going to control the consequence after the movie's done for those nights. I'm just using an example of 2 hours. in my day. So think of that. Think of that. And that's how I took it. It has nothing to do what's in the book. That's why I've been saying for every day is that you got to read the book, because I'm going to throw in how I interpret things. I like to make things my own, if you already haven't mentioned, and how I'm going to take things and make it work for me. So that's how it's working for my head. Hopefully that's clear to you, and hopefully that might help you. And if you read the book, or if you don't, if you take those tips, and think of it as movie time. It's time for me to be in control of what's on my TV, in my movie, my volume. I'm in control of the volume. I'm in control of the color. I'm in control of the speed. If I'm going to pause it for a little bit and take a break, or I've gone through that, I'm going to speed it up a little bit or rewind it and go over it. So that's how I interpreted this book, and help me day to day, is look at it as a movie, be in control, and be control of your ABC. So hopefully that helps. So again, today, the last two habits, again, was control your inner thoughts, and can think of things as a movie, and you're in control. And also try to get the positive and control your ABCs, your stimulus every day, your behavior that goes along with that stimulus, and the consequences that come of it. And always have that going in your mind of everything that you're doing, even if it's so, there's things that you're doing every day that no one else is going to see and call you on. So you got to be aware of that. What did I do today? And what kind of consequences did I have today that of things that didn't get done, or what I did get done? So hopefully that helps for today. Hopefully you get a chance to get this book or download it, audio book. It's a great book to read. So thank you very much for watching this week. Happy Friday to everyone. And I will be picking another good one this weekend. I got 3 or 4 in mind. I'm planning ahead and try not to put the same kind of topic. I don't want to put another emotional type book next. I'm trying, and then throw in more real estate related books. So I have lots of thought into this each week when I pick out a new one. So that's it. Remember, use me as a resource. I'm here for you. Feel free to call, text, email if you want to discuss these things. I love every book I'm picking and talking about is something that I enjoy and love that book. That's why I'm talking about it. So if you want to discuss it, kind of like a book club thing, just for that, I'm happy to do that too, or bring it into more of a business and real estate related topic too. So that's it. So have a great Friday and a great weekend, and we'll see you all on Monday. Bye-bye.